afternoon, and thank you for joining us. Always a pleasure to welcome Laura Bramnick from TalkRealEstateAZ.com. Laura, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Sinclair.
Always good to see you.
It's great to be here.
Laura is an attorney. She's also a realtor and, equally important, a consumer advocate. She helps people and represents them for residential or commercial or land transactions, helping to put together a concrete plan. Now, Laura holds an active Arizona real estate license. She's been a real estate investor, worked in the mortgage industry, a certified instructor with the Arizona Department of Real Estate. And for more information, the website is TalkRealEstateAZ.com. Lots of good information there, including archives of our conversations.
Yes.
And if you'd like to call Laura, 480-624-2705, 480-624-2705. Laura, a lot of what you do is basically serving as a realtor, and the sales are really fairly simple. The nice thing is, though, that people also get your services as an attorney.
Yes. Because I'm an attorney, I can give legal advice. And because I'm a realtor, I'm familiar with the documents and the Arizona Association of Realtors, not only the forms, but their standards and their rules. And I'm also familiar with the law and how the law has interpreted real estate contracts in this state. You know, what is permitted and not permitted, what's in a gray area, what's high risk, what's low risk. Because, you know, as you know, every contract is a negotiation.
Yes.
And what I see in my practice is that when a lawyer's not involved, too many times every contract is done the same way.
Just a boilerplate.
They're not treated as unique, and the law sees them as unique. And there may be issues in your contract that aren't addressed by a traditional realtor, not because they don't intend to, but because they're not lawyers.
So even though it may look like a traditional, regular real estate transaction,
Yes.
it's still a good idea to have an attorney review things and
Yes.
help in the negotiations even.
Yes. There are many things that can go wrong. And one of the benefits of having a real estate lawyer is that I see clients after things fall apart.
Mm-hmm.
So I have the benefit of experience of what things do people mostly claim breach or litigate over. And so I can help clients avoid those pitfalls. Now, as you know, buying a house can be very emotional.
Sure.
And so I have a lot of clients who can be resistant because they want that house, they want to get in that house, they think everything's going to go smoothly. But it's really my job to basically do a reality check and let them know what it could cost if they waive certain things that really are to their benefit.
Well, most people don't know what can go wrong in a real estate transaction until it goes wrong.
Yes, absolutely true. And there are certain rules. Something as simple as, you know, we've had all these short sales recently.
Sure.
And most of the short sales are sold as is, which means I'm not going to fix anything. But that doesn't mean that they don't have to disclose what they know about the house. So many times there's no disclosure, which is known as a SPUDS or Seller's Property Disclosure Statement,
Mm-hmm.
because nobody thinks it's required, including the realtors. And so then the buyer moves in the house, something terrible has gone wrong. Maybe there's mold, or maybe roof problems or foundation issues, things that are very expensive to fix.
Right.
And if the seller knew, under Arizona law, they're still required to disclose it. They're just not required to fix it. And so that would have given the buyer the option of either negotiating a reduced price so that they could then fix it without ultimate additional cost to them,
Right.
or buy another house.
And there are many circumstances where that really could be an important issue.
Yes, yes. So I see that a lot in short sales.
There are also some issues that come up as someone is trying to sell one property and buy another.
Yeah, the simultaneous close was very, very popular when I first moved here 25 years ago, but it's become harder and harder to do. And so having a lawyer involved can help explain your options and making sure that all of the issues are addressed so that you're protected, whether you're the buyer or the seller. If you're a lot of times what happens is the seller knows they're gonna move. Maybe they've had another child, they need to move to a bigger home, their work has moved to a different area of the valley, and so they put their home on the market, but they're also looking for the house they're gonna live in, they're gonna buy. And sometimes they find that first, and sometimes, you know it's not gonna stay on the market forever. So they may wanna try to buy that house while they're selling their other house.
Right.
And so they need to really sit down with a lawyer and talk about what are your options. Do you need a longer close of escrow? Are you able to get a bridge loan? Are you able, some people can qualify for 2 homes.
And we've talked about contingencies that can be written into contracts as well.
Yes, and there's always the option of the contingency, meaning I can only buy your house if I sell mine, but buyers and sellers are not, sellers are really not open to that very much anymore. They feel like there's too much risk involved.
Right.
It's harder to get a mortgage now, and
Oh, dealing with mortgages,
Yeah.
you can help with that as well.
yes, yeah, I was a loan officer in the mortgage industry for several years, and so I'm very familiar with the programs. I don't originate mortgages, but I have mortgage originators under my umbrella. And so they know what I expect, what I require, and they can answer to me in addition to answering to my client, which is an additional level of protection.
We say this many times, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. It's better to be proactive than reactive.
Yes,
And dealing with all of this, if you don't do it on an ongoing basis, like you do, Laura,
yes.
then for many people, there are many things that they're just not going to catch.
Right, most people think that lawyers are very expensive in this regard, but it most likely will not, if the client is buying or selling, it most likely will not cost them anything out of pocket for attorney's fees, because as a realtor, I'm entitled to part of the commission.
So it's a twofer,
It's a twofer,
2 for 1.
yeah.
That's a great deal. The devil can be in the details, and Laura can be your angel of the fine print.
Yeah, well, I like that, angel of the fine print. I'm gonna put that on my website.
480-624-2705. The website is talkrealestateaz.com, talkrealestateaz.com, or call Laura, 480-624-2705. Thank you, Laura.
Thanks, Sinclair.